Hello, welcome back once again to Infinite Jeff, the project where I Jeff, blah blah blah. You know what's up. But I will have to say that my favorite parts so far to read have been these rehab parts, just because it's a little more informal and people drop swears and it's a little more, I don't know, and there's dialogue. And dialogue's fun. And the tennis stuff ultimately is kind of boring because I don't care about tennis. There were some plot threads in the beginning, fucking 9 months ago, that we seem to have not picked up. So I'm wondering if that, what happened to that guy who watched the Interlace cartridge and died? The fucking medical attaché for I want to say Sultan, but I know that's not the right term. Some sort of Middle Eastern political leader. What happened with that? We just kind of, they made passing mention to it, but I don't know, why that happened. I don't know. It's just that, I guess that is the experience of reading this the way I am, is that, there are going to be stuff in a couple of years when I read it that will be referencing stuff that happened a year and a half ago. And I'm like, okay. And I'm not ever probably going to go back and listen to this front to back, because, I would estimate at this point, say we got average of 5 minutes a piece, which is probably, that's a decent estimate. Maybe a little on the low side, but we'll call it that. So this is page, 273 that we're doing today, so it's 271 pages. Although I did do those bonus ones, so we'll just go with that number. So 273 pages times 5 minutes. That's 1,365 minutes divided by 60 minutes in an hour. So currently I have estimating about 22, 23 hours of material online. So I will say, probably, I'll say I probably got a full day going. So again, we're maybe a quarter of the way through. So, we're going to have about 4-5 days of material to listen to. So again, why I'm not going to go back and listen. Because honestly, if I wanted to reread the book, I'd reread the damn book. I'm not going to listen to it this way. But I'm happy you are. It's more fun, I think, if you're doing it day by day. Day by day. But anyway. Oh, man. Page 273 of this book, Infinite Jeff. Here we go. They thought was one of their true best friend and lover. They just have to pray daily for acceptance and the brass danglers to move forward through the grief and loss, to wait for time to harden the scab. The sponsor, Ferocious Francis G., doesn't give Gately one iota of shit for feeling some negative feelings about it. Iona, is that a word? Because iota is a word. Iona is a company in Warren, Michigan. It's a small island off in the Inner Hebrides, off the Ross of Mull on the western coast of Scotland. I'm going to guess it's not a typo on David Foster Wallace's part. It's just using the wrong word. Damn it, David. I have enough of this shit when I read Jeff Finnegan's Wake, where it's all this fucking switching a letter so the word is something else, instead of the word shoe, it'll be with an X, jus, and it's what are you doing? So one iota for whatever the fuck reason. The sponsor, Ferocious Francis G., doesn't give Gately one iota of shit for feeling some negative feelings about it. On the contrary, he commends Gately for his candor in breaking down and crying like a baby and telling him about it one early a.m. over the payphone. The sense of loss. It's a myth, no one misses it. Their particular substance. Shit, you wouldn't need help if you didn't miss it. You just have to ask for help and, turn it over, the loss and pain, to keep coming, show up, pray, ask for help. These are all capitalized like their slogans, it's a pithy statement. Gately rubs his eyes. Simple advice like this does seem like a lot of cliches. Day's right about how it seems. Yes, and if Jeffrey Day keeps on steering by the way things seem to him, then he's a dead man for sure. Gately's already watched dozens come through here and leave early and go back out there and then go to jail or die. If Day ever gets lucky and breaks down, finally, and comes to the front office at night to scream that he can't take it anymore and clutch at Gately's pant cuff and blubber and beg for help at any cost, Gately will tell Day the thing that is Gately will get to tell Day the thing is that the cliched directives are a lot more deep and hard to actually do, to try and live by instead of just say. But he'll only get to say it if Day comes and asks. Personally, Gately gives Jeffrey D like a month on the outside before he's back tipping his hat to parking meters. Very salivable today. Yeah. Except, who is Gately to judge who will end up getting the gift of the program v. who won't, he needs to remember. He tries to feel like Day is teaching him patience and tolerance. It takes great patience and tolerance not to want to punt the soft little guy out into the calm Ave ravine and open up his bunk to someone that really desperately wants it. The gift. Capital G gift. Except, who is Gately to think he can know who wants it and who doesn't, deep down? Gately's arm is behind his head, holding up against the sofa's other arm. The old DEC viewer is onto something violent, and color-enhanced Gately neither sees nor hears. It was part of his gifts as a burglar. He can sort of turn his attention on and off like a light. Even when he was a resident here, he'd had this prescient housebreaker's ability to screen input, to do sensory triage. It was one reason he'd even been able to stick out his 9 residential months here with 21 other newly detoxed housebreakers, hoods, whores, fired execs, Avon ladies, subway musicians, beer-bloated construction workers, vagrants, indignant car salesmen, bulimic trauma mamas, bunko artists, mincing pillow biters. Mincing pillow biters, okay. North End hard guys, pimply kids with electric nose rings. Cool, electric nose rings? You know about that, H? Denial-ridden housewives and etc., all jonesing and head gaming and mocus and grieving and basically whacked out and producing non-stop output 24/7, 365. At some point here, Day's saying, so bring on the lobotomist. Bring him on, I say. Except Gately's own counselor when he was a resident here, Eugenio Martinez, one of the volunteer alumni counselors, a one-eared former... And the sound of the page turning means we are at the end of page number 273 today. Yeah! Big stretch, big stretch, big stretch, big stretch, big stretch. But, yeah. Have a good night.